I hope y'all ready for what this means. If you think the racism in this country is out of control, wait till you see what the white South Africans are gonna bring to this country. President Trump signed an executive order in February granting an exception for white South Africans to be coming here as refugees. Now, nothing's wrong with their country. They're not seeking asylum. They're not being mistreated in South Africa. They are told that they are going to treat everybody equally, and they don't want that because, remember, they colonized South Africa, and now they're gonna be in your neighborhoods. Here they come, taking over your neighborhoods. They have refugee status. They're gonna seek asylum here. They're gonna get all kinds of social benefits. But that's okay as long as they're not Venezuelan. That's okay as long as they're not Mexican. It's okay as long as they're not from Cuba. But since they're white, bring them on over. We'll take them. No worries.
So South Africa's own government is even coming out today and telling Trump, if you want to take on these refugees, that's on you. But just so you know, none of them have been properly vetted. A lot of them have been involved in protests that are pro-apartheid. And on top of that, these guys are actually claiming that they're being persecuted for being white. I don't know if you know a whole lot about South Africa, where Elon Musk is from, but the apartheid just ended not very long ago. If you don't know what that is, it was mass segregation. South Africa's government also came out and added that it's really hard to be a refugee of persecution when you're amongst the most highest earners and highly educated in the entire region. But in my personal opinion, this kind of gives me remnants of Operation Paperclip, what the U.S. government did after World War II. They got a little over 1,500 German scientists and high-ranking officials from the military, Hitler's military, to come over to the United States so they could learn from them. Now, I'm no mathematician, but 2 + 2 = 4. What Trump's been doing here in the United States as far as deporting individuals, they've all been brown people. And now he's more than willing to bring thousands of white people claiming they've been persecuted by brown people without even fully vetting them. The answer to this simple mathematical equation is Trump wants more white people in the United States. If it ain't white, it ain't right. And that's literally Trump's mindset. You can't prove me otherwise.
Let me get this straight. This administration is rounding up brown people, criminals or not, legal or not, shipping them back to the country where they came from or to all sorts of places and prisons, right? And one of the reasons why is they said during the race that these people are taking your jobs, right? That there's so many of them, 20 fucking million of them came over here and they're taking all of your jobs. And you should be scared, right? That was their thing, fear tactic. Yet they announced that they are going to house refugees, white refugees from South Africa. White South Africans. They're coming over. They're going to house them. But there was no immigration reform. There was no like, hey, I know there are, 20 million illegals here. Let's figure out how we can legalize them. No, let's round them up, ship them off because they're brown. But, white South Africans want to come here? Because we need to take care of them? Let's house them. Let's take care of them. You guys cannot fucking tell me that this administration isn't you-know-what.
100 white South Africans are expected to arrive in the country out of 8,000 or so applications. How is this being received in the U.S.? Are there concerns, particularly by refugee advocacy groups, for example?
Well, refugee advocacy groups, of course, find it utterly astonishing that a Trump administration that would close America's doors almost wholesale to refugees from all over the world, because that is, in essence, what President Trump has done in the weeks since he returned to the White House on January the 20th, would throw America's doors open for one group of people, Afrikaner farmers, based on a false statement that the president has made about the Expropriation Act. He argues that those farmers are being dispossessed of their lands without compensation. He also argues more broadly that white Afrikaner farmers are suffering human rights abuses at the hands of President Ramaphosa's government. And of course, the United States government chides President Ramaphosa for the position that South Africa took at the ICJ, accusing Israel and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of war crimes. But it is an extraordinary moment for the United States to be opening its doors to refugees whose processing time for transition to a new life in America has been fast-tracked to just 3 months, where the standard processing time has been 18 to 24 months, and that was before Donald Trump shut America's doors. I think it's fair to say that most Americans don't really know this is taking place, and it's curious that the government wants to send, apparently, this delegation of US government officials to Dulles Airport to welcome the first Afrikaners as they fly in, because that will certainly raise visibility of this within the United States. And it's not clear that the American public will necessarily back it. I mean, Republican Trump voters don't want anybody coming in. They want America's doors shut, and they certainly aren't particularly literate in the politics of South Africa. And Democrats, of course, will say, well, if you're letting white Afrikaner farmers into the United States, why are the doors closed to so many other deserving people who have applied for refuge in America? But it's an astonishing symbol of how low the bilateral relationship between the two countries has fallen, and we'll wait to see when these planes are going to arrive, when these people are going to arrive, and what level of welcome they are provided by the Trump administration.
Simon Marks is our Washington correspondent. Simon, thanks very much indeed. And just to note, government officials in South Africa say they are working on a response, also rejecting the idea that Afrikaners are being targeted.
Who claim discrimination in their home country are heading to the United States, where your administration is going to welcome them as refugees. Now, this comes as you've halted virtually all refugee admissions for people fleeing famine and war from countries like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you creating an expedited path into the country for hundreds but not others?
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have I guess a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible.
This is for the Americans. If you're not an American, feel free to watch, but please try and get it to the Americans. My name is Bianca van Wyk, born in South Africa, live in South Africa. Today you will be welcoming the so-called white Afrikaans refugees. They are there based on an offer made to them, which I must say was informed by disinformation about South Africa. Now, I've seen a lot of takes on who Americans think they are receiving. Okay, you are not getting successful, professional, white, middle-class South Africans that are fleeing South Africa. The people you are getting are the people that believe that there is discrimination against them based on their race. Keep in mind, we live in the most unequal country in the world. We have, for instance, 70% of agricultural land and agricultural holdings are owned by white South Africans. 62 to 68% of top leadership positions in corporate are filled by white males. There is a huge salary disparity between white South Africans and the rest of the population. And there are a number of other indicators which shows you that the story of discrimination based on race is false. Another thing that I wanted to say is that you will get certain so-called refugees that have experienced crime. However, in South Africa, no one is exempt. These people that you are welcoming assume because they're white they should not experience crime. The people most affected by crime in South Africa happen to be black people that live in poverty. So as you open your doors and welcome people, and you're going to get a lot of information and disinformation from these people, please do keep that in mind. Oh, I also would like to say all the best and good luck to the Americans.
For coming out here this afternoon. The Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security and I just met with this first flight of South African refugees to arrive in our country pursuant to the President's executive order about certain egregious actions in South Africa. The President made it clear that Afrikaners in South Africa who are the victims of unjust racial discrimination would be welcome to come to the United States.
In their home country or heading to the United States, where your administration is going to welcome them as refugees. Now this comes as you've halted virtually all refugee admissions for people fleeing famine and war from countries like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you creating an expedited path into the country for hundreds but not others?
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have I guess a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible.
This is for the Americans.
I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color.
Shalom, call HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. That's giving our praise to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful lake scattered abroad. Shalom to the 144,000. And as you see, man, this guy Trump, okay, he speaks with a forked tongue, okay, double-minded. First you want to deport a bunch of people, but then you want to bring so-called white South Africans in, which really you're not white, okay? As you see Trump, his shirt is white, but his skin is not white, all right? They're beige, pink, okay, pigs, all right? But this whole thing about them bringing in these white South Africans who are racist as hell. Okay, them people are demonic. All right, they're colonizers. You want to bring in colonizers who really, you called them farmers, but how can you be a farmer of a land that was in yours, that your people came in and robbed and stole? It's like somebody breaking your house and, take something of yours, or living in your house and you come and try to take it back or get back what's yours, and now you're the criminal. Now you're the bad guy. All right, but that's the mind state and the spirit of these evils and the wicked all together. Okay, the Lord is just gonna have to destroy these devils, man. All right, YAHAWASHI is about to destroy these individuals off the face of the earth, and we see why. Okay, just the way they move, the way they act, who they are unfit. Okay, they're not meant to be in a position of power. All right, and ultimately they're gonna have to be taken off the face of the earth altogether. But this right here just go to show you that their hatred for you Jakes is real. Okay, because they're talking about deporting you, sending you to prisons and stuff, and they're going to bring in these Edomites when they told you it was about the jobs, it was about the people. We can't take care of these people. But now you want to take care of these white people? And he said you don't care about color. That's a lie. Okay? That's a lie. Trump is for his people. Okay? Which I can't be mad at him about that because we supposed to be for our people. All right, but let's grab a few precepts just to make this point. It says Psalm chapter 58, verse 2. It says, yeah, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Here's the point. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And they told you it was about the jobs. It was about you can't take care of these people, yada, yada, yada. It was about being criminals, but now they're deporting people that's not even criminals, people that have no criminal record, people that they ain't even looking for, people that's legal. People that's legally here in this country, they're getting deported and sent to El Salvadorian prisons. But then you want to bring your Edomite counterparts over here, okay, that's getting their ass snuffed out in South Africa for stealing that land, okay, and oppressing the people who that land belongs to, okay? We show you that this man is the devil. He's going to always be the devil. In the NLT it says, no, you plot injustice in your hearts, and that's what this devil is doing, which really he's bringing in reinforcements. And those white South Africans are racist as hell, okay? The audacity of these motherfuckers to claim racial injustice when you came over there and profited off of racial injustice. It says, no, you plot injustice in your hearts. You spread violence throughout the land, and that's what Esau does, okay? He came on there talking about people are being killed. Well, what about those Palestinians that's being killed? And y'all funding that. What about those Ukrainians that's getting slaughtered? Okay, and y'all, allowed that, which whatever. They're all heathens. But the fact of the matter is, Esau only care about when his people are getting killed. This is why this whole racial, uproar is going on in America right now. You had two white Edomite supremacists, okay, that went to a Jake neighborhood dressed as a Ku Klux Klan and got got sent back to the spirit world, okay. So the racial tension is definitely rising, man. And this guy Trump, he's setting the scene, okay. He's talking about habeas, I forgot how you say it, but basically where there is no due processing, meaning they're gonna lock you up and nothing you can do about it. We're coming into a time of great hell in this country. But let's read on. It says, these wicked people are born sinners. These wicked people are born sinners. Even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. This is the wicked, man. Okay, and these are the people that's in power. It says they spit venom like deadly snakes. They are like cobras that refuse to listen, ignoring the tunes of the snake charmers, no matter how skillfully they play. Break off their fangs, O power. Smash the jaws of these lions, O Lord. And that's what the Lord about to do. He's about to break these devils' fangs. Okay, he's about to smash their jaws. He's about to take away all of Esau's power. Okay, and then you're going to be left to get pummeled by, people you've been oppressing. It says, may they disappear like water into thirsty ground. May their weapons make their weapons useless in their hands. And that's why the Lord can give us spiritual power. Okay, and taking this man down. His weapons are going to be useless. Okay. Let's go over here. It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. This is how they got that land to become farmers and this, that, and the third. It wasn't through righteous dealings. How did they get America? Was it through righteous dealings? They broke every single treaty they made. You can never trust these devils. Scripture says, never trust thine enemy. Don't you ever, and I will never, ever, fucking ever trust these devils, bro. I know, when the devil show you who he is, believe him, okay? Believe him. And the same thing with these 230 niggas out here. That's just they want to go down with the devil. Hey, the hand join the hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. It says the kingdom is translated from one people to another, and this is how this devil has gotten, where he's at today, and it was through violence as well. All right, let's go back over here. Let's go to Habakkuk. Okay. Let's go to Habakkuk. It says, bear me 1 second. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. It says, the vision is for a future time and describes the end. It will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Look at the proud. They trust in themselves, and their lives are crooked. But the righteous will live by their faithfulness to YAHAWASHI. It says, wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. They can never be at rest. They can never have enough. It says they open their mouths as wide as the grave, and like death they are never satisfied. In their greed they have gathered up many nations and swallowed up many people. This is what Esau has done, okay, in his greed. Okay, so this is the same devil, okay, and it's all through the Spirit. He's being revealed to be the devil in these last days. Everybody's looking at this guy narrowly, okay. Verse 12, it says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. And this is how Esau has established these cities and these towns, okay, through by blood, okay. Verse in the NOT, what sorrow awaits you who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption. And that's how this devil has gotten everything that he has, through murder and corruption, okay. He's the wicked. All right, and it's through the Spirit that YAHAWASHI is exposing this man for being a devil. He's being found out. Okay, he's being found out. Let me see. Here we go. Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. These devils are the ones that are in power. They have the power to do all this stuff. We have no power. Okay? Only power we have is YAHAWASHI, which is the ultimate power, but that's all, and due to, it's going to be fulfilled in prophecy. Right now, we have no physical army, no military. Okay, but Esau, he's bringing in reinforcements. That's why he's bringing them white South Africans in here. Because Esau's spirit is, okay, let's all band together. Let's work together. So when Jacob's trouble pop off here, you're going to have white South Africans out there gunning you down, like how they was doing, Jacob over there, in Africa. It says, which they hate you Israelites, man. They have a perpetual hatred. It's why you can never trust them, okay? And if you don't know this devil is a devil, guess what? He's about to show his horns. It says, they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And these devils are what are taking people's land and oppressing them in their land. And they didn't get mad when people try to take their shit back. Like, what the hell? What the helly? These motherfuckers got to go. The audacity, the arrogancy of these devils, man. Okay, it's mind-boggling. But that's why the Lord created them to be the wicked. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. Yeah, the Lord got something for you. In the NOT, but this is what the Lord says: I will reward your evil with evil. And understand, when you do evil, the Lord's going to reward your evil with evil. Okay? Esau didn't consider that. He was just out here doing evil, being wicked, being a damn demon. But guess what? Now it's time for you to get as they say, the chickens are coming home to roost. It says, you won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose. You will no longer walk around proudly, for it will be a terrible time. Yeah, it's going to be a terrible time for you. Okay? You ain't going to be able to walk around proudly with your chest poked out. You know? Me and the brothers was going into it last week. We did a video. And after the video, we went to grab a bite to eat. And Edomites was in that bitch looking at us crazy. You know? They're looking down their nose at you. It says, in that day, your enemies will make fun of you by singing this song of despair about you. We are finished, completely ruined. The Most High has confiscated our land, taking it from us, and He has given our fields to those who betrayed us. You see? And this is coming upon you Edomites, man. Okay? A great judgment is getting prepared for you. Okay? Let's grab this right here. Because Trump, man, he's a demon. Bear with me. Let me see. All right, Trump is a real live demon, man. All right, and his people, all of them together, and it's being found out now in these last days who these devils are. Okay, this is Psalms 55. Let's grab it over here. Psalms 55 and verse 21. Psalm chapter 55, verse 21, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And it's the spirit of the devil. He on our TV talking about, it's not about race. I don't care about race. Get out of here, bro. We know who y'all is. You the same devil. It says his word in NLT, his words are smooth as butter, but in his heart, his mind is war. And they're in the spirit of war. Scripture says in Revelation 12 and 12, the devil shall come down unto you having great wrath. Okay. He was wroth and went to make war with the saints. So this devil, he's about to come and make war. This is what they're getting ready for. This is why they're getting all the help they can get. And they finna come down upon you, Jakes. Okay. It says, give your burdens, Salakia. His words are as smoothing lotion, and underneath are daggers. Right. So he'll rock you to sleep with them smooth words. Okay. He speak as a lamb, but as a dragon. Okay. He gonna rock you to sleep with them smooth words. He kicking in your door, and should destroying you and your family. All right. Let's grab. Let me see. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. That's reading the NLT. It's so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. We see what you're doing. We know how you get down. We know how you get ahead. Okay, it's through wickedness. It's through deceit. It's through unrighteousness. Okay, and it's only through the Spirit that the Lord is going to really show these devils that he ain't for them. Okay, the Lord is for us. Okay, but these devils, they think they really gonna get away with all this wickedness. So, hey man, it's a beautiful time, okay, to have this truth. It's a beautiful time to know YAHAWASHI. Okay, because majority of people are about to get taken in this destruction that's coming, but we're gonna be delivered. We shall be saved. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. Yeah, these nations getting ready to come down with that wrath. It says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. For there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, and they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Yeah, they're gonna come down with that with wrath. Okay, they ain't gonna show no mercy. It says, and they that consent to them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. If you think that this man, we just gotta, we just gotta listen. We just gotta listen. He gonna pull you into a FEMA camp, and they're gonna be in there violating you, okay, and your family. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. They're gonna be putting you Jakes to death, man. Okay. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as a gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your God. So the days of trouble are at hand, man. And that's what they're getting ready for. Trump, and his administration, they're getting ready to make war with you Israelites. They're getting ready to so-called make America great again. And when America was great for them, when we was in slavery, when we was in subjection, when we was, getting whipped and lynched in the streets. That's when America was great for them, okay? So they figure, hey, we know what? Let's bring as many Edomites over here as we can, and let's make war. Which I just saw a video of an Edomite talking about that. Oh, there's 50% white people in America. That's bullshit. Y'all dying in greater numbers than y'all being born, okay? They're talking about it's only 12% of so-called black people. Come on, bro. be real. Be for real, bro. All right, it's all garbage, but that shows you that these devils, they in that mindset of being a devil. They gonna lie, They're calling us the minority, when really we are the majority, okay? And they are the minority, so they're afraid, These Edomites are scared as shit right now, okay? And when the push comes to shove, they're gonna remind you and show you who they are. They're gonna show you that they're the devil. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth shows his wickedness, and this devil is about to show you his wickedness. Shalom, Kamasharala, Baba.
I'm just really upset about something, and I want to delve into it real quick. Again, I know this isn't sports. I know some of you come here for sports. I respect that. But earlier today, a group of 50 white South Africans landed at Dulles International Airport as refugees. And they were welcomed into the United States under a humanitarian designation meant for those men and women fleeing war or persecution. And Trump has suspended this for all other groups everywhere in the world. And almost all of those other groups, or a huge majority, are people of color. And Donald Trump has allowed these 50 white South Africans into the United States because he says that there's a genocide in South Africa. And that is just actually not true. Trump said farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black, it makes no difference to me. And at the same time, you're watching people all over this country being round up. People almost exclusively who are of color being rounded up by ICE, taken into facilities, exported. But white people are being brought in from South Africa under the false pretense of they're facing this life or death discrimination. It is so fucked up. Like, it is so fucked up. If you don't think these people are racist, please understand this. No brown people are allowed in this country. We are not taking any refugees who happen to be brown. But these 50 white people from South Africa can come in. These 50 white people with their families and their history of apartheid can come in. We need to help the white people of South Africa, and we are allowing them into America. Think how fucking deranged that is. I'm being serious. Even if you're a Republican, even if you're pro low taxes, think how fucking deranged that is, that there are people in the Trump administration believe that the optics and the politics of this, what we need to do are save the white South Africans. And if you're like, this is great, this is so awesome, blah, 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 like, something is wrong with you. Like, something is actually wrong with you. This is the most racist, sinister shit I've seen done in the open by a politician in years. There's been racist, sinister shit done by both parties through the years. This is just, look, we're racist. Look, we're going to let the white people in, but no brown people in. But the white people, come on in. We want to save you. That's what this is. And if you're not paying attention, just Google it. Google South Africa and Trump. Google South Africa and white and America right now. I'm not exaggerating what's going on. It is fucked up and absolutely crazy and disgusting and disturbing, but on brand with this monster and his minions.